Today we are in the historic downtown area of Savannah. I'm Karin Carr.
And I'm Katie Ruddy. Today we are touring one of the most beautiful cities in the country.
So Katie, when I first got here, I knew that it was an old city, but I wasn't prepared for exactly how old it was. What did you think?
No, I wasn't either. Being from South Carolina, I love history, and I absolutely love the cobblestone streets. They're one of my favorite. It's like stepping back in the history when you see a horse-drawn carriage walking on the cobblestone, and just the life is amazing.
There's so much fun stuff to do here in the Savannah Historic District as well. There are so many restaurants. I bet I could eat at a different one every single night, and I would never hit the same one twice. It's kind of like wineries in Napa. I don't think you could possibly go to every single winery that there is. That's how I feel about restaurants here. Yeah. What is your favorite restaurant in the Historic District?
Hands down, Pirate's House. Fried green tomatoes, and it is actually one of the most historic buildings in Savannah. What about you?
Well, you know that I'm a sucker for shrimp and grits. In fact, I did a video many years ago about my favorite places in Savannah to get shrimp and grits, so we'll link that up above if you want to check that out. But number one on the list was Dockside. Dockside down on River Street has the best shrimp and grits ever.
Oh my gosh.
I love it so much.
My stomach gets ready to grab.
That would be definitely my favorite. So behind us is Mrs. Wilkes Boarding House, which is a Savannah institution. Have you ever been there?
No, I haven't actually.
I haven't actually been there either. I got to put that on my to-do list. Mrs. Wilkes is soul food. It is good old-fashioned Southern comfort food served family style. And if you show up here at lunchtime on a weekday, the line is down the street. There's just so much to do down here.
There's shopping, tours, food, endless parks, so much fun.
So Katie and I are here today to specifically talk about some of the architectural styles of the Historic District. I mean, there are so many. Just on Jones Street alone, we have Federal, we have Victorian, we have Georgian and Colonials.
Typically with the Federal architectural, the red brick is a dead giveaway.
Didn't you tell me one time that you were showing a house in this area and the builder's name was engraved in the house somewhere?
Yes, actually we were showing a historic home last summer, and the builder actually had their name engraved in the tile in the foyer, and it was a very beautiful, pretty tile. It wasn't just a straight, this is tile. It had a lot of pretty colors, blues, vibrant, and you could just feel the home's love and texture, how hard he worked on it. And the seller actually told us it was common in the 1900s for builders to show that it was their build by putting their name somewhere on the property, whether it was the foyer, it was the windows that they put in, the front doors, even on the signs as you walk through downtown Savannah. They still have the signs where it says who was the builder or who was the owner originally of the property and what year they owned it.
I mean, there's one right over there that we just saw.
Yeah.
I think my personal favorite, though, when it comes to all of this architecture is all of this wrought iron gates and fences. Yeah. It's so elaborate. It just boggles my mind how long it would have taken somebody to make something like this back in the day.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. It is so beautiful. It just sets Savannah apart from cities in Georgia and in South Carolina as well.
Not to mention all of these live oak trees that are just dripping with Spanish moss.
Yes.
It's like stepping back in time, right?
It is. And I love the lit
the gas lamps?
Yes. I'm just lost my train of thought, but I love how they light them. And then you have the ivy and the wrought iron staircases, the flowers, everything is just set perfectly. It just takes you right back to history. It's my favorite.
Here's another example of the gorgeous wrought iron staircases that we have in Savannah. These are just so beautiful. I can't get over it.
Yeah. What about the staircases that actually go up and connect in the middle?
So when I first moved to Savannah, I took one of these carriage tours, and the tour guy said, so I hope that this is accurate, those were built during the Victorian days. We had one staircase on this side for the men, one staircase on this side for the women. The ladies would go up on one side because when they had to lift up their dress, their ankles would show, and it was scandalous for the men to see your naked ankles, which cracks me up because in the Victorian era, there were some very low-cut gowns, but it was the ankles that were considered scandalous.
That is so funny. I cannot not believe that. I would never imagine it was ankles over.
Yes. Okay, quiz time. So, Katie, how
Yes.
many squares are there in the historic district? Do you remember?
I know this for sure. 22, right?
Absolutely, that's right. So we are here in Chatham Square, but one of the most famous squares in Savannah is Chippewa Square, because what famous movie was filmed there?
You know I know this, Forrest Gump. And in full disclosure, guys, I was so ready to talk about Forrest Gump. I had my box of chocolates. I was gonna say life is like a box of chocolates. But my husband, he didn't think I needed a box of chocolates. So he threw away my box of chocolates.
I'm
So I'm
sorry.
here in a square without
no
a box of
chocolates.
chocolates.
So I know what my favorite would be. If you were going to live anywhere in the historic district, where would you be? I know that mine would be waterfront. I would totally want to be in one of those luxurious condos down on River Street, looking out over the water, seeing the container ships go by. What about you?
No, I want to be in one of the squares. I want to be in one of the houses that looks down on the most historic parts of Savannah, and you can just feel the history every morning, waking up, breathing it in, and enjoying all of the trees every season. That's what I would do, hands down.
So like any of these
Any of
houses
these.
around here.
Yes, all of them.
If your idea of heaven is living in the Savannah Historic District, the GCH team with Real Broker is a group of experienced realtors ready here to help you. Just click this link to go to our website and look for properties for sale, because here at GCH, we believe you should live where you love and love where you live.